Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the Andy Rogers podcast. Tonight, I've got someone I've knew for a good long while, and he's done everything when it comes to music. Likes a game of football, follows Rangers, if I'm right.
That's right, yeah.
So me and Martin are going to get into it. So just take it straight back, Martin. Growing up in Livingston, when you were younger, what was it like?
It was brilliant, it's all good memories, it was great. Going into first and second year, the music, it was all like, the dance scene, the rave scene was massive here at that time. It was like Sonic, Ultimate Buzz, and TTF, Rhythmic State, that was... But it wasn't until about 94, I think it was, Oasis came along. It was just a explosion, you know what I mean? Every day connected with it. We had a ghetto blaster. We used to get our bottles of lean for the shop, and everybody knew the words, so we were all set. Oh, it was just good times growing up in Livingston, definitely.
So you hit 94 and sort of Supersonic that was released first. What was that like hearing that back then? Because I was born in 93, so it's you know what I mean, it's way past what I could have had.
I just think I had a massive impact on that whole generation, I hung about with, we all loved them, and then we dressed like them, you know what I mean, and the whole attitude and the songs were amazing, it was just a great time. Very lucky to be a teenager in that generation. But it wasn't just the Oasis, there was so many great guitar bands throughout that whole generation, but for me personally, that's when it really started with, with guitar music, And then for then, it was like Ocean Colour Scene, Supergrass, the Verve, you know what I mean? The Roses, obviously, Supergrass, Blue Tones, it goes on and on and on. It was just a great time.
Yeah. I think looking back now on it being the age I am, it was a cultural revolution in the 90s. It seemed like it was the 60s all over again for the youth.
Well, it was a massive, like the Oasis thing in the 90s, or Britpop thing was massive, but the dance scene was massive right in the 90s as well. Ecstasy culture, football was brilliant, everything just sort of merged together, it was just a great time, all great memories.
Oh, exactly. So staying on music, Martin, what was your first gig you went to?
Oh, right, here we go. The Charlatans at the Forum.
Oh, yes.
That must have that 93 maybe, I can't remember the date. But Charlatans at the Forum, but I drank, I got 4 cans of Tennant Super. I think I drank 2 of them. And I think only lasted 4 or 5 songs, and then I don't know if I got chucked out or I left, but I ended up in a bad way with a drink. But that was my first the Charlatans, 93, I think that was.
It's mad because they're just literally announced that rescheduled tour, and it's 32 years of whatever album it is.
Yeah.
And I love the Charlatans myself.
Special band, I should have mentioned them in that list I said earlier, but they were brilliant. And back in Livingston, you're getting bands like that coming to Livingston, the Forum.
Aye.
And I see Mammoth played there, David Bowie played there, it was it was brilliant.
I was Bowie with Tin Machine, wasn't it?
Yep,
Bowie with Tin Machine. It's a generation I sort of look at, right, and go, right, I probably should have been born 10, 15 years before, because now I look at it going, I just look at it and go, if I could have a time machine, I could just go back and just go right through the gigs, because I listen to yourself and, folk that were at gigs that were now.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh man, like before social media and all that, before the camera phones in the air, and
it was another time. It was amazing. It was amazing.
But moving off the sort of Oasis and that, obviously yourself, you're a Richard Ashcroft Verve tribute. What was it about the Verve Ashcroft, that whole?
Well, it's sort of it went in a cycle for me, you know, that was the dance, rave stuff, and then Oasis, and then all the other bands, Britpop class bands. And it was probably about 97 when I first proper got into the Verve, you know what I mean? So that's like Urban Hymns and, you know, Lucky Man, Drugs Don't Work. It was a crazy generation, you know, everything to excess, which is great up to the point. But then, you know, the Verve just really struck a chord with me. I don't know, it was just, I don't know, that time I was maybe drinking and partying far too much, you know. And then when you're coming down, you know what I mean, Sunday morning, you've got Velvet Morning on full blast. It's just like, I don't know.
Just strikes a chord, doesn't it?
Just meant to be, you know what I mean? It was just I don't know, I'd look back in my life with music and everything, every stage just seems to have been meant to be, you know, for me. You know, what bands influenced me, the bands was in myself, and then the solo stuff, and then the tribute stuff. It's just very grateful for all, you know what I mean? It's been amazing.
Because I've obviously seen you in the Changes, I've seen you do your cover sets, and I've seen you as a Northern Soul.
Yeah.
And you're brilliant at performing all the songs, Martin. See, when you perform the Verve songs, it's like they touch a different chord with you.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. It's as if you're tapping into something Ashcroft's got, if you know what I mean.
Well, a lot of these songs just become part of who you are as well, you know, because they're so important. I used to listen to Urban Hymns and Northern Soul, Storm in Heaven. I'd listen on repeat, you know what I mean? Monday, it was a big day for me listening to music in the house, you know what I mean? Just absolutely immersing myself in the melodies and the feeling, the emotion, and the Verve are a special band and Ashcroft's a special songwriter. And it just becomes, I don't know, the songs do become part of who you are as well because you grew up with it, you know, you went through all different changes in life and different struggles and happiness and, you know, everything. And this music just connected part of the story, you know, so it'll always be special to me, you know.
Yeah.
No matter how many times I sing them, you know, they still connect.
I've probably seen you live. I don't know how many times I've seen you live. I've
quite a few.
Got to be in the 30s and 40s at least over the last sort of 8-9 years. Through various, you know, yourself with the Changes and all that. So you say, you know, the rave scene was massive and the dance scene was unbelievable. Because my dad says that to me, listen, your mum got you into Oasis and all that, is it? But you know all the old school dance stuff. So you know what proper dance music is. So what was your sort of favourite dance? I know it was all clubbed together a lot when you were going out. What was sort of the favourite band? Like dance? Dance band as well?
See, we used to go out Thursday, Friday and Saturday a lot of weekend. You know, Thursday would be Club Earth, it was then.
Melville's, wasn't it?
Back then. Thursday night would be a big night then. Maybe Zen again the Friday, then Saturday night, Room at the Top. Room at the Top had the Colours nights.
Yeah.
They were massive, you know. Mauro Picotto was always... I mind seeing him at Homelands. Me and Magoo, obviously, you know Magoo. Me, Magoo, and my mate Beatty all went to Homelands. And Magoo was raving about Mauro Picotto, and I'd never heard of him.
He's brilliant, man.
So it's like 5 a.m, something like that. You know, he was the last to go on every Tuesday. You know, there's a few people still up and going. Me and Magoo and Beatty were some of them. And long story short, Mauro Picotto came on, and then it was just blew my mind completely. So I was like, "Hi, you're right, Magoo." So Mauro Picotto, but it was like Judge Jules, Paul Van Dyke, all these people, Armin van Buuren.
There's sort of the pioneers of EDM now, aren't they?
Yeah, and the pioneers of Paul Mendes, he always put on an amazing night Room at the Top. You know what I mean? But it was brilliant. Everything. It was just life was one big party back then. You know what I mean? And we're lucky because there was so much great music and great places to go, and it was just going on all the time. So, it's a great generation.
You know, somehow I forgot you were. I don't know how this happened, but I forgot you were mates with Magoo. Right, I don't know how that's happened, right? Because you didn't have Martin without Magoo. You know what I mean? Used to are Batman and Robin, if you know what I mean.
Aye, good pal.
So how long have you known Brian? Because you have been...
Since we were kids. He stayed in our place, I stayed in Beach Place. Aye, best mates for years and years. And then, the music's been a great adventure for the both of us, you know. He's done unbelievable, you know what I mean? And it was a few of us locally in the street that all go into music, you know what I mean? There's Amy Hawthorne, incredible talent. Mark Dillon, he sings that experience now. There was Magoo, there was myself, you know what I mean? And there was Beatty, there was Keith on the bass, you know. We all just stayed within 100 yards of each other, so...
It was a hotbed, wasn't it?
Aye. But us growing up in that generation, you know, we were just great influence on life, you know what I mean? And it just becomes part of who you are, definitely.
To be at it with your mates as well, it can't get much better, really. You know, you've got the music, you've got the football, because I know you and Magoo are Rangers fans. Yeah. Rangers are going and doing 9 in a row, which...
Exactly. At the time, it was all happening. Everything was happening. Weather, the summers were roasting, you know what I mean? Music was great, football was great. A golden time.
So, getting into the bands, Martin, what was your first band? So I can imagine the changes weren't the first iteration of a band you were in.
My first band was called Enhancer, and it didn't last very long, you know, there was only about 2 gigs I think we done, but that led on to Burnout. And Burnout was what an adventure that was. That was incredible, you know. That was 4 of us, we all grew up in the same street again. Me, Paul Vinter, Michael Beattie, Keith Cunningham, and then latterly Kevin Smith, the Deans, he played bass the last couple of years. But the Burnout, what an adventure that was great fun. As you say, we were all good pals, so living the dream, you know what I mean, in a band, going playing all different places, and all your pals are coming to watch, and then party before it, gig, party after it. Good times.
Where did you start off playing, Martin? Because my knowledge before I started going to gigs around here is non-existent, basically.
My first ever gig was at Craig's Farm. And that must have been the year 2000 maybe, or 2001. And I was joint first place in a songwriter competition. But it was West Lothian Youth Action Project. They done a lot to help me, you know, and they helped encourage me with my music, and you know. So my first gig was Craig's Farm, and I couldn't play an F chord, so I had to change it to A minor for my song, and I was so nervous, you know what I mean, legs shaking. But that's it. Once you've done your first one, that's the start of the journey. So I must have done thousands of gigs since then. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's great fun.
So it's got to be different playing like soloing in a band. So where's sort of your favourite place to play just soloing in a band? Where's been your favourite place? Because you played throughout the UK.
My favourite gigs?
Just to play.
Solo and with the band. You need to give me a couple of minutes to get the answer.
That's fine, man. No bother.
Favourite place? Well, we loved playing Rockers in Glasgow with the band. We had some great nights there. You know, what a following we had. Everybody just went nuts, you know what I mean? I've got fond memories of playing there with the band. And we played the Carlin Academy and ABC. You know, we had everything got to a point and it just never quite happened for us. But it's the journey was amazing, you know what I mean? The journey was brilliant. So probably Rockers for the band. Great memories for that. Solo, let me think. I don't know. There's been so many. I played Bath Racecourse supporting definitely Oasis and the Complete Stone Roses.
That was a couple of years ago, wasn't it? That was only a couple of years ago.
Aye, that was some experience because I was just playing acoustic down Ashcroft.
Mm.
And I said to the promoter, I said, how many people is going to be here today? And he said, 3,500, 4,000. And I was like, oh, what? Better get myself a double jack here. So that was an experience. I don't know.
Mm.
Edinburgh Festival, the Cowshed, I've had some great acoustic nights in there, but everybody's just everybody's just well up for it. You know, you're playing acoustic and then the whole place is dancing, you know.
Mm.
I don't know. I've had so many, it's hard to pinpoint any.
I think you talk about like the bus loads of people going through. I think that's been a straight thing for through here. We always back our own. And I think you see it right up to the modern day with the Snuts and you know, Lewis Capaldi and all that. Because you go to either of the gigs, you turn around and go, he's for Whitburn, he's for Craigshill, he's for thing with, and it's brilliant. Because I think we always back our own.
It brings everybody together, music, doesn't it? You know, and it's so good to see these guys all doing so well. You know, all eyes are on West Lothian just now. You know what I mean? There's so much great talent, and a lot of them are breaking through. So amazing, and you know what? They're all grafters as well. They're all work hard. You know what I mean? Work hard to get their breaks. So
no, 100%.
It's so good to see them doing so well.
So after the burnout, Martin, was it a bit of solo or was it in with the changes after burnout?
After burnout split up, and then 2 weeks later, I started a new band called 7 Day Sun, and we had some guys, had some great nights for them as well. I mean, playing King Tut's, that was a great experience. You know, we totally rocked the place on a Sunday night. That was good. Then I saw at the same time I started getting more my solo stuff. You know what I mean? I think it was 2009. I recorded my first album, A Million Miles from Nowhere. And then we done Palace at the Top of the Mountain, 2010. And Contentment, Living on an Island. You know, I was just writing. I have so many songs. You know, I just got in and recorded them. You know, so
yeah, because I've got one of your albums. I think it's from 2012. And I absolutely loved that album. It was. I don't know, your songwriting must just strike a chord with something in me. And I just thought, brilliant. That's, you know, what does it come from? The songwriting, Martin. Where does it? Because there's a magic songwriters I've got. That other people, like musicians. You know, you get your great bass players and all, your guitar players and that, but see songwriters to come up with that magic with the melody and that, it's something else.
I think it's real depth of emotion and connection and not being scared for it to be rubbish, if you know what I mean. Just write it, feel the moment, get it written. Don't analyse it. Don't think, oh, maybe that lyric's not good enough or maybe that's not strong enough. Just don't doubt yourself and just go with it. I don't know. I started writing songs when I was about 19 or 20. I was in a bad place. I was struggling with a lot of things in life, just excess partying, and you can only live that mad. You can only party so long before the damage kicks in. You know what I mean? So music was a saviour to me, and I'm not ashamed of that. You know, it was saved me at that point in my life. So I was expressing all these deep emotions and feelings, and you know, obviously all these bands had such an effect on me as well. So it's like a melting pot of everything.
Yeah.
And then I started writing poems. Got hundreds and hundreds of poems. I've still got to be books just now, you know. So it started for me with poems, just expressing my emotions.
Yeah.
Developed, and then you get more confidence and more experience. You start understanding what chord structures and your limitations with your voice and how to use it better and dynamics, all these things, you know. Just year in, year out, you're learning all the time, you know. That's what's great about songwriting. It's an adventure. You don't know what's coming next, or you don't know where it's going to go. But there is an element of magic to it. It's like it's a connection. I could be watching the telly downstairs and I could just be be inspired. I need to pick my guitar up, and I don't know why I need to pick my guitar up, and it just sort of get a couple of chords, and then you just go with it. You go wherever it takes you.
That reminds me of something Noel Gallagher said about he'd be out in a restaurant with his wife, and he'd be tapping his fork, and he's like, "Right, we need to go." And Sarah would be like, "What are you talking about?" "No, I need to go. There's something dropped. I need to go record this." And I think that's magical. There's something. I know he calls it sort of waiting it like fishing. You're just waiting for it to all drop.
That quote, that's.
I think discussing it. I mean, I spoke to Mikey Campbell about being songwriting and that, and I think everyone's got a different process in that.
Yeah.
But is there any process for yours? It just sometimes the magic just flows.
90% of the time, I'm just mucking about with the guitar, just strumming away. As Noel would say, going fishing. I suppose you could call it. Just getting a few chords together and a rhythm, and then you just connect with a certain chord structure and you think, well, that sounds all right. And then melody, so it's chords first, then the melody comes, and then lyrics last.
Yeah.
But the way I do it is I usually try and get it all done in 20 minutes. Just get, again, it's that thing, don't doubt it, don't overanalyze it, just do it, you know what I mean? Get it done. And then the next...
it comes.
And just go with it and wherever it takes you. And then the next day, listen back to it. And then you can maybe tweak wee bits here and there and, maybe add a middle eight or whatever. But the main structure, it just go with inspiration. I don't know. That's the way I do it. But I know that other people write lyrics first, then put melody to it. Or they get a beat and a groove. And, being in the bands, we've done a lot of songs like that, jamming, come up with stuff on the spot. And I miss that, the band split up 4 or 5 years ago. So I missed
the changes,
I missed the jamming, I missed the power of it, and the different. But again, I'm not going to complain. I've had a great time with the bands I've been in, played with some great musicians. And the changes was a great experience for me. Playing with Stu, and Johnny and John, top musicians, and that's another great part of my journey,
Yeah, because that's where sort of you come into my life. You're supporting them. Definitely Oasis at Da Vinci's their first ever gig.
That's right.
And my dad was actually down the stairs, and my dad was like, "Oh, what's going on?" I went, "Dad, shut up there." Just sort of walked in, and you and your Red Gibson. Is it Red Gibson?
Yeah, that would have been Andy's guitar. And it was, I can't even mind. It was a classic.
I just remember coming in
guitar anyway.
And I seen you, like, your haircut and how you're dressed, and I was like, right, it's definitely my sort of place. This is gonna be cool. And I think I don't know if I caught your whole set, and so I finished with Cocaine Eyes, and I absolutely adore that song. It's stuck with me, so it always makes it into playlists for me.
Well, that song's been on a wee journey, The first done that, well, obviously I wrote it acoustically. Then we done it with Burnout. Then we've done it with 7 Day Sun. And then we've done it with The Changes. So that's the only song that I've played with all three bands. But it's a decent song. You can hear the influence in it. Neil Young, Oasis, but it's got the power. It was good for playing that.
And also, like, you're always sort of with, whenever you seen definitely Oasis, you were always there, whether you were playing or being in the band or just being mates together, just touring together.
It's exciting seeing your pal do so well, and obviously the music's amazing, and just seeing it's a big celebration. The tribute thing is a big celebration. The fans are all buzzing, the artists up on the stage are all buzzing, and it's just good times, isn't it? The tributes are done well, done good. It's a great night for everybody. It's a win-win.
It's always worth the money.
Yeah,
worth the money every time. I mean,
to keep my pal doing so well was just amazing, you know. So that was a great journey. I had some great support slots with them and being all over the UK. And look how big they are now, definitely Oasis.
I know.
Was it Dubai they were at? And I've got Australia
Dubai.
and all that. And it started at Da Vinci's back then.
Because he always embarrasses me, yeah. He always finds a way embarrasses me at a gig, like, right, where are you? And he done it to me at the Barrowlands. You were on video duty that night.
That's right, next to the big speaker. That was the big, massive, huge speaker, the Barrowlands. I'm up on stage with the camera, my ear right next to the speaker, you know what I mean? Cigarette snapple bursting right in my ear. No, that was amazing. I know, you know, these nights are all brilliant. You know, it's again, this music's just part of who you are, and the tribute stuff's just a celebration of it all.
Obviously, you do your own thing with Ashcroft. How did nailing the Ashcroft thing come about? Just doing Ashcroft.
Well, it started. I supported definitely Oasis down in Manchester. 251, I think it's called.
That's it, aye.
And I just done a mixed cover set, like Oasis, no Oasis, obviously, the Roses, the Verve, OCS, Neil Young, that kind of thing. And then on the way home, we done a gig in Dumfries. So we done Manchester one night and then Dumfries the next night. And I just done an all Ashcroft set just to see how it would go and and the place, everybody loved it. The place was, you know, singing every word, and I went down well. So on the way home, Derek McCabe said to me, Livy, why don't you do Ashcroft tribute? Because it never crossed my mind at all. I was like, no, I don't know about that. I'm not sure. But it planted the seed, you know what I mean? So I went home and I was like, hey, maybe I could do that. Maybe I could. Because I knew most of the songs anyway.
Yeah,
that's it. That's how it started, really. I just set it up after that. I think Magoo set the page up for me. And I think the first gig I done was La Belle Angel, supporting definitely Oasis. The first Ashcroft song.
Was it La Belle or was it it was Electric Circus?
No, that was the Changes supported.
Was that the Changes?
Aye.
So it must have been La Belle Angel.
La Belle Angel. And I've been everywhere. I've been Newcastle, Dublin, Belfast, you know what I mean? Sheffield, London.
Because you played the what was it called? The Britpop Weekender thing down there with them. And I was just like, wow, like, that's frightening to me, even just to me.
That was the O2, Kentish Town. That was amazing. Absolutely. Because I saw Ashcroft playing there the year before. Yeah. And then it's a year later, I'm on the same stage. I'm looking down to where I was standing. I was like, this is surreal. So that was a good experience. So, it's great fun. Amazing. How lucky, very lucky. Put time and effort in learning all the songs, but still very lucky to get there and sing. Everybody's enjoying it. And
obviously, he made his great comeback with These People.
Yeah.
And oh my God, I remember, I think it was 2016. I remember I think he released it the weekend of the Scottish Cup final. And it must have been that week. I remember just listening thinking, oh my God. Wasn't like, I love the Verve and I love urban hymns and that. And Northern Soul, but that album I was just like, right, I need to see him on this tour. That is a must.
Well, it was on fire, you know what I mean? That album, especially the first 5 tracks, are just brilliant. And the live performances were just, he was absolutely on fire. I saw him at the Carlton Academy, and that's probably one of the best gigs I've ever seen, because just the passion and the went into that performance. Brilliant. I'm excited to hear what he's got next, you know what I mean? He's not had an album for a couple of years, so I'm sure he's got some magical tunes for us.
What do you think of this album he's just done?
Yeah.
With he's done his own versions of like Verve songs and the acoustic hymns, I think it's called.
Yeah. Well, some of the versions are really good. I I can see what he's done. You know, it's a really good listen, and I don't know, it's like Velvet Morning's brilliant on it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but it's hard. I wouldn't say they're better than the originals, you know, but it's a nice, interesting arrangements, and his voice obviously sounds outstanding. And there's some nice instrumental pieces in it. It's brilliant. It's good. I've been listening to it at work, you know, and again, inspires me. You know, it might be songs he's wrote years ago and recorded, but it's nice. It's nice to hear different versions. Yeah.
Yes. I really like the one with Liam. Come on, people, we're making it now.
Oh, it's such a positive song, and that's what everybody's needing, isn't it? You know, it's been a tough time for everybody, and uplifting song. Come on, people.
100%. But how did the changes end up finishing, Martin? Because I remember sort of seeing you with them.
Yeah.
And I remember speaking to you after, like, oh, what's coming up? And you were like, oh, I don't know where the gigs. We're waiting for something to happen. And obviously, he's announced.
What happened? Well, Johnny left on the drums.
Yeah, I know Johnny. Yeah,
a brilliant drummer.
Mm-hmm.
And we were trying to get a replacement, and we couldn't get we were getting people filling in and helping, which was great, but we were struggling to find a proper replacement. And then I don't know, it was just then Stu left, and then Andy left. I don't know, maybe it just ran its course, but it's another time look back on fondly, and I'm just happy I was part of that.
Great gigs.
Aye, brilliant.
Some great cracking gigs in there.
Great musicians, great memories, and we've got some really strong songs, you know what I mean? And that, if I look back on my collection of songs I've written and recorded, you know, the changes, you know, The Illusion, Too Busy Staying Alive, their version of Cocaine Eyes, Woman, you know, these are all strong songs in my opinion, you know.
A strong working catalogue, isn't it?
Proper rocking as well. And aye, I'm proud of the songs we created with that.
Because I remember seeing you in Da Vinci's, you and Andy done a cover set first.
Yeah.
And then the changes played.
Yeah.
And I was just like, right, if you're done cover set. Oh, you done Martin? No, we're going to do a changes set. And I was just like, I was thinking, right, I'll just go home. That's the night over. And I didn't get home till about 4 o'clock in the morning. So it was like, right, Da Vinci.
It's all about the winners.
Aye, definitely.
Everybody be uplifted and have a good night, you know, and it's been amazing journey.
Mm-hmm. So, Martin, you got your own solo stuff now. You're working with the Ashcroft stuff, getting gigs.
Yeah.
Now, rightly or wrongly, I think you're working on a new sort of album, aren't you? If I've seen rightly.
I've recorded a new single at Where a Fox My Shoe Goes with Fraser Brown. If you're a musician or starting up or whatever, and you want to get and record, get into Fraser. Brilliant quality and really good prices, and a great guy. So I've recorded a new single. It's called The World Here Is a Rainbow, and it's just getting mixed at the moment. So I'm hoping to release that in the next few weeks. So brilliant. That's about that. And I'm hoping to get you know, I do the tribute stuff, I do the pub, playing gigs around the pubs. I'm a songwriter, you know, and I can't forget that. Sometimes you get so busy doing all the covers, you don't takes you away from your path of what should be on, you know, it should be the songs. So I'm hoping to, one every 6 weeks, I want to get in and record. I'm not thinking like albums, just singles, you know what I mean? Just so there's no pressure on, big album, you know what I mean? You don't need to get the money together for this or whatever. Just singles. And it's exciting again, because I don't know where my songwriting's going to go. I don't know what I'm going to be inspired by, you know? Because
one of your last EPs, I cannot remember the song. I absolutely loved the EP though. It was released a couple of years ago. It was when you'd actually just shaved your head. I think it was. And the photos in a set of woods. I don't know if you'll remember the songs. The photo for the EP, sort of you and sort of woodland area.
Well, that'll be my first album, 2009, A Million
Is
Miles.
it?
That's the one where I'm in the woods, aye.
Mm.
But Shooting Stars, the one I released.
Shooting Stars, that's it, yeah, Shooting Star.
Aye.
Absolutely love that. Love the working of that.
Probably Shooting Star, Palace, Top of the Mountain, and A Million Miles from Nowhere. That's my three favourite albums or EPs I've done, you know. Really proud of some of the songs, and some great productions for Callie Brown and Fraser, and again, just working with great musicians. And it's good fun recording as well, you know, because you come up with, you've got an idea of what you want the song to sound like, but when you get in the studio, all these other ideas come, and again, you just go with it. And Shooting Star, I'm proud of these songs. I would love to get a band around them, and you know, they're a powerful live set with them, but all the songs are there, you know, so
be a case of just getting a band together, wouldn't it?
I've got hundreds of songs, so it's just so that's something I'm hopeful I can get sorted sometime.
Because that must have been what, 3-4 years ago, Shooting Star, wasn't it? 3 years ago?
Definitely
3 years ago.
Definitely 3 years ago, anyway.
No, because I remember you releasing it, and it was just you just done a chain of Ashcroft tribute gigs, and you announced that, and I was like, right, well, that I pre-saved it. I think it was on Apple Music at the time. Pre-saved, right, we'll wait for that to come out. And I just got right into it.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Great, just good melodies, and the tunes are so chilling.
Mm-hmm.
I thought those tunes really chilling, but I can see what you mean, a big band behind it, getting like electric guitars on it, you know, drums on it, and blasting it right out.
Well, your songs, as a songwriter, I think your songs is like just where you are in your life at the time, you know what I mean? And that was that moment. You know, the productions, they all had big choruses and big positive sounding, you know, and but the band Blossoms really influenced that, you know?
Yeah, they're cool. I really like them.
Because, you know, it's been a long time since a band really got me, you know, after I've so spoiled with so many great bands in the 90s or early thousands.
Yeah.
The Blossoms, you know, great songs, great melodies, great vocals, and quite interesting with the keys as well, you know. So the Blossoms were a big influence on Shooting Star, definitely.
Right, now you say I can hear that, yeah. I wasn't actually.
If you listen to it again, you'll hear it even more, probably.
I know I probably will. Because I wasn't convinced on Blossoms until last summer. When I seen them supporting the Cortinas in Manchester.
Yeah.
And I was like, the music's good. I was like, but they need to convince me live, because when I watched them at a festival, I'm like, nah. And then I sort of seen the last sort of 20 minutes of them in Manchester, and I was just like, okay, they're fucking brilliant. And the lead singer wore a green suit. A green suit on stage. I was like, how have you pulled that off? Like, I don't know how lead singers, yourself, Magoo, all the lead singers, you just pull anything off. You know what I mean? It's something about, I've got a thing for lead singers. And they just captivate me. Ashcroft's the same. They can just pull any jacket off, any pair of shades. And I think there's just, I don't know, lead singers sort of mesmerising. So I'm just like, I think it's just something to look at, you know, just get your focus.
Yeah.
And
that's a powerful thing. The lead singer is getting that message across. It's usually the focal point everybody's looking at. So it's a big part of the music, you know, if a gig or whatever, you know. For all people, anyway. It's all about being inspired, isn't it?
Yeah.
All these guys inspire us. Ashcroft, Liam Gallagher, you know what I mean? Brilliant.
Somehow we're in 2022 already, Martin.
I know, it's flying by.
I've seen people say it's the 25th month of 2020. It's the 25th month of 2020, because this has just been a continuous.
It's been a bizarre. It's been absolutely mental. It's like just for everybody, just such a strange time. You couldn't have seen this coming. It's just Aye,
Mhm.
very difficult for everybody.
What is good is getting to see yourself. You got back out at the weekend there to play songs again. How was that in Linlithgow?
Aye, it was good. Obviously, the restrictions were still in place, but it was a good night. It was busy, and aye, it's good. Good just to get started. You know what I mean? I've got 5 or 6 booked throughout the year at the moment, but I'm hoping now restrictions. Is it the 24th? They're getting eased even more.
Yeah, the 24th they get eased.
Yeah, so I should get a lot more bookings in the diary, and then I'm ready to go. You know what I mean? I've not lost any passion or buzz for it.
No, you never have.
No, it just stays with you. So I'm excited for the year ahead, and hopefully I get a lot of gigs booked and get to some cool places I've never been to and meet some cool people again. You know.
So, just to sort of start closing off, Martin, heavy influence from the 90s on your music.
Yeah.
And obviously, because you can play guitar, you can literally perform what you can play. You know, any song you can play, you can do.
Yeah.
What's your favourite songs to play?
I thought
This is a hard one.
I thought that one might be coming. I don't know. It depends on the situation. You know, it depends on what the crowd are into, what they're reacting to. You know, I can go on most of the time, if you're in a busy pub and you play Oasis, 80% of people absolutely love it. You know, if they've had a drink. I don't know. I really enjoy singing Don't Go Away by Oasis because there's just so much emotion and feeling in that song. And you can there's a lot of depth to that. So I enjoy singing that one. But I don't know.
What's your favourite solo song to perform that you've written yourself?
Again, that's a difficult one. I don't know. See, I don't play my own songs enough these days. You know, it's all like around the pubs. But I like going back to the early stuff as well. Obviously, the last song you wrote, is always your favourite. You know what I mean, and you enjoy playing it. But going back, I like Save My Soul, Stephanie's Castle. I don't know, Dance in the Rain. People always seem to like that. That's just all about the good times back in the day. I don't know. Probably those 3. But then, as I say, you like all your latest ones as well. Whatever I wrote last.
Yeah.
I've got hundreds of songs. I just can't remember them all. You know, I've got them all. I've got them recorded. I've got stuff. There's probably songs I've written that I'll listen. I've not done anything with that. You know what I mean? Because life gets fast as well, and if you're writing a lot of songs, a lot of them get left behind. You know.
Yeah. It's you've probably got a Let It Be Naked sort of thing somewhere. Like the Beatles' Let It Be Naked sort of thing. You've probably got an album that's sitting somewhere going, I could go and rework some of that, you know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I've got hundreds of songs. And I've got a lot of them saved on a wee memory stick. You know, I've got maybe 7 or 8 albums, a couple of EPs, loads of rough demos. And I've got books and books full of lyrics and songs. And I wish I had the energy to, give them all a life. But you've got to be in the moment and what you're doing.
And there's no point forcing it. There's no point forcing it because...
No, because they're not going anywhere. You know, they're saved on a memory stick, so you can always go back to them. And I will do it at some point when I've got more time. My life is too busy.
Yeah, also, Martin, you working full time. You know, you do the gigs. You still got to find some time for yourself. And you know, the ones you're close with. Yeah. And that's the other thing that's massively key as well.
It's just trying to find the right balance, you know. I think musicians have got a real drive and an obsession, you know, and it's sometimes it's full steam ahead, but you've got to sometimes step back and just relax a bit, and you know. But when you've got a passion for something, it just takes over. And music's an amazing thing, you know. It's such a healing thing, you know.
Yeah,
and it's
100%.
It's important. It's so important for so many people, you know, for most people, you know.
I know. If it wasn't for music, I think I'd be locked somewhere. I think I'd be locked up somewhere because I can put earphones on, or I can, you know, stick it on. It just takes me away.
That's it. Takes you away.
It's a total
relaxes
departure for me.
Relaxes the whole system, and then your worries can disappear. You know, if you put an album on, you can just totally refreshes you, and it's such an amazing thing, and it's such an important thing for people. So it's great these gigs are going to be coming back, and these big events, and it gives people something to look forward to, and you know, it's hope. That's what everybody needs at the moment, hope, and then things will get better, I'm sure.
But what would be the message I'd say? Just something Noel Gallagher says, right? He there might be dark clouds coming, but they will pass.
Yeah.
And my mate Craig sent that to me, and I was going through a tough time. Anyway, listen, I ken you're going through a tough time, but read this.
Yeah.
And it's something I can always go back and refer to.
Yeah.
And go,
it's very positive thing. Yeah.
But to close up, Martin, final. No, not when you go. Sorry.
It's coming up. The winter's beginning to end. All restrictions are easing. It's before you know it, we're coming into the hot summer days. You know, it's good times ahead. You know what I mean?
There's plenty of gigs and festivals to go to.
What's that?
There's going to be plenty of gigs and festivals to go to.
And everybody will be buzzing because they've missed it. You know, so it's going to be good times. Good times.
Because I think there was one thing that just see the year and a half without a gig to go to. It's the thing I spend most of my money on. Whether it be seeing someone abandon a pub, or going to the Hydro, or going to Hampden or something. I'll travel up and down the UK. I'm not bored where a gig is. I'll be like, right, fine, I can get a train there, it's cool.
And your diary's full, and you've got these things to look forward to, and it makes work less of a because you know you're working and you've got this to look forward to, and that's the way life should be. You know, people should experience life and be out doing things. You know what I mean? Going places, meeting people, and you know,
100%.
That's the natural way it should be. You know, not so. Hopefully, this summer should be a belter.
So just to close, Martin, I would say thank you very much for coming on the podcast.
Thanks for asking. This is a great idea. Some great guests on.
Hopefully, it's going to keep on the onward trajectory.
Definitely.
Get guests on. I'll eventually get into our studio, and we can, instead of being online, we can do this face to face.
Good plan.
But to close off on, just to do the final bits, Martin, what's the hopes for this year, the rest of the year?
What's the hopes?
The hopes. What's the plans and hopes for the rest of the year?
Just in life in general, or music.
Life in general, musically.
Well, I want to get away a holiday, me and my missus, in April. I want to get loads of gigs booked. I want, gigs all around the UK and over Northern Ireland, stuff like that. I want to spend good quality time with my family, my mum, my dad, my brothers, sisters, niece and nephew. And that's it. The people are important. The people in your life, my girlfriend, family, and that's what I'm focused on moving forward. And just enjoy life the best you can, and be positive, have things to look forward to, have goals to achieve, and just believe in yourself and have dreams. You know what I mean? Everybody's got to have dreams. that's basically it.
100%, man.
2022,
Brilliant.
positive and belief it's going to be a great year.
Definitely, Martin. Definitely. I'm sure I'll see you at a gig.
Aye, definitely.
Very soon. I'll definitely see you at some point. Definitely. It's been a bit too long. It's been too long. Martin, what I'll do is I'll drop all your details in the description when the podcast goes out.
Yeah.
People will be listening to us on Spotify and that. Where can they find you, Martin? Find you, get in touch with you, if they're booking a gig or to listen to you.
Just Facebook or Spotify. I think I've got 11 or 12 songs on Spotify. YouTube, I've got loads of videos and stuff on that. Everything's, most gigs and stuff are booked through Facebook and Messenger. So I've got Martin Livingstone Music. I've got my own personal Facebook page. That's the main things used for communication these days, you know.
Oh, I know. What I'll do is I'll drop all that in the description, Martin, if anyone wants to, one, come listen to your brilliant music, and two, if they want to get you in for a gig.
Aye, definitely.
Because what needs to be done, we need to get everything, we need to get everyone booking you and getting you out singing your songs.
Nice one. Thanks, mate.
Right, Martin, thanks for coming on. And guys, like, subscribe, and share this podcast because Martin's a brilliant artist, very interesting person. And if you're booking anything musically, gig-wise, go and get in touch with him because he can do everything. He can.
No, quite.
It might sound biased, but no, Mark. If you're wanting someone to perform songs at a party or that, or even get them into your venue to do a gig, do it because you won't regret it anyway.
Nice one, thanks, mate.
Right, thanks very much, Martin.
No worries, mate. Thank you. All the best for the year ahead.
You too, mate. Thank you.
Cheers, man.